Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter W. Welcome to a very special 2nd and 10 reimagined video. So I went all the way from 1932 to 2021 doing 90 regular seasons, doing 90 playoff things to determine the 90 NFL champions. Of course, there is a little bit of a bias because the AAFC and the AFL I haven't done. So anyway, I wanted to set up three groups of 32 for 96 teams to be in an ultimate tournament, kind of like what happened last year. But of course I have 90 champions. So anyway, I'm doing the AFL later to get some of those teams into the whole organization. But anyway, I created the encyclopedia for 2nd and 10, Cutter's Reimagining Results. And this encyclopedia is really good. So it's given me a summary of career leaders, like Don Shula won 310 games in his career. Tom Brady put up 83,000 passing yards in his career. Emmitt Smith, the rushing leader, 18,507. Receiving yards, Joey Rice, no surprise there, 21,000 plus. Total points, Adam Vinatieri. Sacks, Reggie White, 207. Picks, Paul Krause, 102. And all that. Season leaders, John McVay, but that's for the World Football League. Passing yards, Drew Brees, over 5,400. Set the record 2011. Eric Dickerson's 2,400 rushing yards in 1984. Michael Thomas, 2,000 receiving yards in 2019. Which was amazing. Total points, Marshall Faulk, 210 for the 99 Rams. Derek Burgess, 27 sacks in one season. Really? And Don Stanford's 19 interceptions for Washington in 1948. And then we had titles, like Green Bay's won the most with 11 titles. You see 34, 36, 40, all that. 41, 43, 44, 62, 63, 67, 20, 14, 20, 20, 21. So they went through 3 repeats. Green Bay won 3 back-to-back. San Francisco with 8 title wins, 70, 80, 81, 86, 87, 93, 94, and 97. I don't know why they have that thing with 6. It doesn't make sense. The Colts with 6, 57, 64, 68, and then 3 with Indy, 99, 05, 09. The Bears, 35, 39, 42, 56, 85 in 2008. The Cowboys, 66, 73, 78, 95, 96, and 07. Miami with 5 titles, 71, 83, 84, 88, 92. Giants, 37, 51, 59, 06, 11. Philly, 47, 49, 04, 10, 13. The Rams, 46, 52, 55, 69, and 2000. 4 wins by Cleveland, 50, 53, 60, 65. The Cardinals, 48, 61, 75 in 2015. 3 wins for Denver, 89, 91, 2012. Then the Patriots with 2 titles, Cincy with 2, Detroit, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, the Chargers, Seattle, and Washington, Atlanta, New Orleans, the Texans, Kansas City, and the Titans. Kansas City won the title? That doesn't add up for me. Or is it? Oh yeah, they did, 1990. Alright, so the seasons and all that. Detroit, the lowest points scored against Cincy, 76 points. So let's go to the career leaders. All the career leaders. Patrick Mahomes, 106 rating. Completions, Brady, 7,191 being Breeze and Barb. Completion percentage, Session Herbert, number 1 in the regular season. Touchdowns, Brady, 641. Breeze, 605. Manning, 549. Yards, Brady, 83,000. Breeze, 80,000. Favre, 71,000. Interceptions, Favre threw 325 interceptions. Sacks, targeted the most. Rushing yards, Emmitt Smith, 18,507. Walter Payton, second. Frank Gore, third, 16,2. Wow. TDs, Smith, 150. LT, 142. Barry, 131. Receiving. Receptions, Rice at 1,400. Larry Fitzgerald almost beat him. Tony Gonzalez third. Yards, Rice 21,000. Then Fitzgerald and Isaac Bruce. Touchdowns, Rice 207. Moss 128. Owens 122. Scoring, total touchdowns, Rice 209. Tomlinson 174. Falk 172. Points, Vinatieri over 2,800. Gary Anderson second. Morgan Anderson third. Field goal percentage, Josh Lambo 91%. Field goal attempts. It should be field goals made. Defense, interceptions. Paul Krause 102. Charles Woodson, second, 77. Ron Woodson, 70. Zach Reggie, 207. Bruce Smith, 200. Kevin Green, third with 159. Forced fumbles, Jim Marshall, 42. Punting, Fegels with over 2,000 punts. Lynetta, second. Shane Leckler, third. Net average, Michael Dixon, 44.3. Kickoff returns for touchdowns, Clarence Verdon with 13. Abe Woodson, second with 12. Cordell Patterson with 9. So Clarence Verdon with 13. 104 yards. Mitchell most yards there. Punt returns, Mitchell there. Touchdowns, Devin Hester, 14. Christensen, Billy White Johnson, and Bobby Mitchell with 12. Okay. Season offense. Total yards per game, the most. The 1950 Rams, 467.7 a game in the regular season. Philly, 1935 Philly, 149.2 yards per game. Penalties per game, the 42 Bears, 11. The Eagles, 36, 1.9, the fewest. Net turnover, the Bears, the 85 Bears, 6 plus 60. Detroit, 1942, minus 50. First downs per game, the 2000 Rams, 25. The Bears, 32, 6.7. Quarterback rating, the highest, 99 Rams because of Kurt Warner. The 42 Lions, 2.3. Completions per game, the 2019 Saints with Breeze, 29.6. The 36 Eagles, 1.9, the lowest. Yards per game, the 2000 Rams, 340.4. The 1933 Cardinals, 12.5. Interception percentage, the 33 Cardinals, 25% of their passes. The 2020 Chiefs with Mahomes, 0.2. Wow. Sack percentage, the 69 Falcons were the highest. Rushing yards, yards per game, the 34 Lions, 255 yards per game. The 2015 Chargers were the fewest with 64. Touchdowns per game rushing, the 1943 Giants, 2.5. Philly, 0.1, 1940. Reception, yards per game for receiving, Rams and Cardinals. TDs per game, 3.6 receiving touchdowns per game for the 2019 Saints, 0.1 for the Cardinals of 35. Scoring touchdowns per game, 5.2 by the 99 Rams. I think they lost the final. The 32 Bears, 0.6. Points per game, the 99 Rams, 38.9. That's amazing. With the 32 Bears, the fewest points per game, 4.9. Field goal attempts per game, the 72 Steelers, 3.8. Most made, 2.8 per game by the 73 Niners. 0.1 by the Phillies. Defense interceptions per game, the 42 Packers, 4.7 per game. Wow. 0.1 for the 82 Colts. Sacks per game, the 97 Saints, 5.1. Wow, that's good. 0.3 for the 36 Eagles, the fewest. Forced fumbles, the 1950 Giants forced 3 fumbles a game on average. The 2014 Cardinals, 0.1. Wow. Punts per game, the most, the 39 Packers, 8.9. The Texans, 2.8, the fewest. Net average, the Raiders, 46.9 in 2016. The Cardinals, 32, 29.7. Kickoff returns, yards per game, Ravens of 2007, 154. The 2019 Cowboys, fewest with 26. 8 touchdowns. The 2006 Jets with 8 touchdowns on kick returns. Punt returns, yards per game, the 42 Steelers, 101 yards, with the 72 Saints, the fewest, 1.8. Steelers, 9 touchdowns off of punt returns in 1942. That's amazing. Season defense. Best defense ever. The 32 Packers only give up 152 yards per game. The 2020 Jaguars gave up the most yards per game, 462.1. Fewest penalties per game. The 32 Cardinals, 2.4. The most, the Carolina's defense. First downs per game. Green Bay only gave up 7 first downs per game in 32. Jacksonville, the 2020 team, gave up 25 first downs per game. QB rating, the 34 Lions held their opponents to 2.3, but the 2009 Lions had the worst, 121.8 against the 09 Lions. Completions per game, 34 Lions, the fewest. The 82 Chargers gave up the most completions per game, 27.7. And completion percentage, the Chargers of 2019 gave up 73.8%, with the 34 Packers giving up only 19.9%. Yards per game by passing, 32 Packers were the best. The 2020 Jaguars were the worst. Sack percentage, the 1980 Steelers only 1.6%. 1951 Cleveland, the highest, 22.1. Oh, I guess Pittsburgh didn't give up a lot of sacks. Rushing yards per game, the 2018 Bears only gave up 64 yards a game. Nice. The 34 Eagles, the most, 240.6. Touchdowns per game, the 38 Giants only gave up decimal 1 touchdowns per game. The 1950 Colts, the worst, 2.5 per game. Receiving yards per game, Packers and Jaguars. All that. Scoring, Giants only gave up 0.6 touchdowns per game. The 54 Redskins, 5.3 touchdowns a game. And the points per game, the save. Defense, interceptions, punting. Season leaders. So like the most in one season. Passing QB rating, Kurt Warner of the 99 Rams, 131.6. Ryan Tannehill second, 131.3. Norman Brocklin, 1950 Rams, 127.9. Tannehill of the 2019 Titans. Completions, Brady, 477 for the 21 Bucks. Drew Brees, 472 with the Saints of 07. And Matt Ryan of the 2013 Saints was third. Touchdowns, Dan Marino still with the mark, 56 and 84. Aaron Rodgers of the 2011 Packers were second with 55. Peyton Manning of the 2014 Colts were third with 52. Now remember, this is a reimagined series. So basically, it's just what, like simulated. Yards, Breeze, 5,476 in 2011. Tom Brady's 2021, 5,400 plus, second. And Kirk Cousins of the 2016 Redskins, I think, 5,300 yards. Interceptions, Namath threw 41 in the 75 season. The most, Connor Lee of the 53 Giants, I think, or something. And Tarkenton of the 78 Vikings threw 40. The most, David Carr was sacked the most, 84 2002. Ken O'Brien's 85 Jets, 79. And John Kidna of 06, 78. Rushing yards, Dickerson, 2,418. Curtis Martin of the 2001 Jets, second, 2035. And then Walter Payton in 1977 with 2012. That's amazing. Earl Campbell and Sean Alexander also with 2,000-yard seasons. Touchdowns, Mike Anderson, 28 with the 2000 Broncos. George Rogers of the 81 Saints with 26, and then there was 23. Wow, Mike Anderson. Receiving yards, the most, Michael Thomas, 2,085 in 2019. Cooper Kupp, 2021 Rams, 1927. And Mike Quick, 1983 with 1898. That's pretty impressive. No Jerry Rice on this one. Touchdowns, Cooper Kupp, 25 touchdown catches in 2021. Demetrius Thomas, 24, and Michael Thomas with 24. So Cooper Kupp has that mark. The 21 season, no, that wasn't a 17-game season. Total touchdowns in one season, Falk with 35 in 1999. LaDainian Tomlinson, 29. Mike Anderson at 28 in 2000 for third. Points, Morton Anderson the most by a kicker, 168 with 2,000 behind also Marshall Falk and LaDainian Tomlinson. Field goal attempts, field goal percentage, a lot of 100%. Aldo Gracco with the longest field goal ever, 63 yards in 1992. Defense, dead center for 19 in 1948. Lahr, 1950 with 18. Norton, 1960 with 17. Sacks, Derek Burgess with 27. I can't believe it. Quinn of 2013 and J.J. Watt in 2015 had 23. What a season for Derek Burgess. Forced fumbles, Neil Smith had 10 in 1993, the lead. The punting, the best net yardage, Marquette King of the 2016 Raiders, 46.9. Dixon, 2020, 46.5. And Bailey, 2020, 46.3. Kickoff returns, touchdowns. Justin Miller, 7 from the Seahawks. No, he played for the Jets. when he did that. Ooh, I did not know that. So 7 in 2006. 5 was second place. Punt return touchdown 7 by Andy Tomasek of 1942, and Jack Christensen had 7 in 1951. Amazing. But this is all regular season. Game offense. Record for most yards in one game, Pittsburgh 1979 Steelers in their 72-17 win over Baltimore. So yeah, look at the running yards. Flyer with 173, Forden with 149. They didn't even have Franco Harris in that game. Swan with 108 yards receiving. So yeah, 72-17. Yeah. Pittsburgh really took into the cleaners, especially 31 points in the fourth quarter. Amazing. The fewest yards was the 35 Eagles, 14 in a game against the Giants when the Giants won 13-0. Yeah, they didn't complete one pass the whole game. Kind of why. Most first downs, 41 by the Saints in a game against Oakland when they won 56-39. Well, of course, with Breeze with 5 touchdowns. Derek Carr threw for 3 touchdowns himself in that game, so that's pretty impressive what they did. So many first downs. QB rating the highest, 2021 Chargers there. Completions in one game, 47 by Breeze against the Falcons in a 38-37 loss on a Monday nighter. 47 for 65, 18. 3 touchdowns, but he threw 3 interceptions. And Atlanta won with 2 minutes left. Wow. The 2011 Broncos, 1 completion. Tebow was 1 for 3 against Buffalo, and they still won the game 24-21 because McGahee ran for 151 yards and a touchdown. Wow, that's amazing. 7 touchdowns. Peyton? Yeah, he threw 7 touchdowns against Tennessee in a 49-35 win. Billy Fullback threw for 3 touchdowns himself. The recipients, 3 by Harrison, 2 by Brandon Stokely, 2 by Reggie Wayne. See there? Yardage, 573 by Brady in 2010 against Joe Flacco and the Ravens. That game went to overtime, actually. Flacco threw for 398. So anyway, Deion Branch from Brady, 77 yards for a touchdown. Wow. What a game. Interceptions, the Bears gave up 12 interceptions to the Packers in a November 1942 game. Luckman threw for 6 interceptions. O'Rourke threw for 6 interceptions. And they were 14 for 30. So, yeah, that was weird. Let's see. Laws had a pick 6. Packers only had 2 pick 6s. 12 interception. Jacksonville, 16 sacks. So Blake Bortles gave up 16 sacks against the Giants in a 17-5 loss. What are the sacks? 3 by JPP, 2 by McLean, 2 by Harkins, Ayers with 4, McBride with 1, Kennard with 2. Wow, look at all that. Rushing yards, most rushing yards in one game, the 34 Eagles against Cincy, 24-7. Elstrom had 142 yards. Hansen 134. Storm, Fantastic, and Kirkman doing the same thing too. Fewest yards in one game. 33 Packers, 1 yard. The fewest, 2 yards by the 2020 Lions. The Bears, only 2 yards against the Rams. Montgomery had 10 yards. Patterson -7. Neal -1. Man, they couldn't run the ball for shit. And that was the 2020 team. 7 rushing touchdowns by the Saints in a game in Denver, 65-7. Tyson Hill was 14 for 27, 197 and a touchdown. But Tyson Hill ran for 4 touchdowns. Latavius Murray ran in for 3. Wow, that's amazing. 7 of the 65 points by the Saints. 97-yard touchdown run That was done by Chester Taylor against the Bears at home when they had to win in overtime. Part of 148 yards for Chester Taylor. So that's the longest in history. Rushing touchdown. Receiving yards, touchdowns. Longest 99 yards by the 71 by Joyner when he got one from Charlie Johnson. I guess that's his name. And they still lost to Washington 34-10. The only touchdown Houston scored in that game. Scoring 11 touchdowns for the 34 Bears. That was a 76-0 thumping of Cincy at Crosley Field. Dutch Clark, 3 for 3 touchdowns. Christensen, 3 for a touchdown. Running touchdown, 7 by those pesky Lions. Dutch Clark with 3, Gutowski with 2, Christensen and Rowe with a... and I believe were there any defensive touchdowns? None. Most field goals in one game. The 1984 Broncos got 8 field goals from their kicker in Buffalo, winning 24-17. And that was Carlos going 8 for 8. 7 Broncos. Defense, 12 interceptions by the Packers. One game. We already talked on that. The 2014 Giants with 16 sacks of Jacksonville. I guess we talked about that. Forced fumbles. The 2000 Oilers Titans forced 8 fumbles against Cleveland and won 26-0. It's easy when Spurgeon wins. Sucks. And Bullock actually had a fumble return for a touchdown. Punting. Kickoff returns. The Carolina with 2 in a game against Atlanta. Cannon got a touchdown, 14-7, and then a kickoff return to make it 21. Cannon with 2 touchdowns off of kicks, and they won the game narrowly. Punt return touchdowns. The 42 Steelers did that 3 times against the Packers, 33-3. Dudley, Tomasic, and Sendick doing their jobs. So that's all I've got for this video. I've got to do something else. So we'll do game defense, the best defensive stuff. I promise you next time. Anyway, I'm Jeff. I'm going to do.